think we're getting started. So excited. I think we're officially live. Yay. Okay. So, happy April. It's the 1st. It's April Fool's Day. But in all seriousness, we have a new month ahead of us, and I'm really excited to dive into the energy and see what's available to us. I know last month I was looking back at my notes for March, and it was pretty much dead on for the energy and how it flowed. And so I'm really excited to kind of dig into this month and see what's happening. And we just had a beautiful, for some of us, depending on where you are in the world, we just had a new moon yesterday, last night. But for some of us, it's, if you're in whatever part of the world you're in, it was this morning. So we're still in the vibe of the Aries new moon, and it's such an incredible energy of taking action, new beginnings. It's like the sign of the individual. It's like a youthful sign. To me, it's about like starting over, new beginnings, all these things. So we're just really, coming off of this energy. Well, we're not even coming off of it. We're in it for the next couple of weeks. And there's been, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's been like a lot of solar flares on the planet. So there's just a lot of an influx of light coming in. Tons of light, tons of energy. For some of us, it's, when a lot of high frequency energy comes in, what it can do is bring a lot to the surface. It can be really uncomfortable at times, and you might feel a little bit like uneasy or agitated because your body doesn't know, depending on where you're at on the spectrum of healing and how much work you've done for yourself and your level of comfort with your past and all that, it could bring up a lot. And because of the way Chiron is hitting right now, which is the wounded healer, we have this incredible opportunity, especially with all this energy coming onto the planet, to do some really massive, deep healing work right now. Just to clean up the past. And we're always, there is no end game, right? There is no like, oh, if I get to this certain point, I'm done with this journey. It's like, nope, we're always in it. But the way astrology works, because I take it lightly, like I don't, like, it's not like a hard, fast thing. For me, it's more about fluidity and flow with it, but to know how the energy's working and facilitating certain things within our lives to help us. And so right now with the Chiron wound, it's going to highlight your deepest wound. It's like taking a flashlight, putting it in there and saying, okay, what's your wounding? And so know, like, where's your Chiron wound? Like, what house is it in your astrology, chart? For me, I'm in Aries rising, so it's in my identity. So, when you see what house it's in, you get an idea of like, well, what am I healing? What am I working through? What am I working on? And just to see like, okay, is it coming in a way that's taking you? So this is the thing I want you to think about with the healing process. So like with the Chiron, and especially Chiron wounding, is either something, the spotlight, the flashlight is showing where you still need healing, because if it's coming up in your reality and your experience, it's because it needs healing, or it's an opportunity to elevate. So it's saying, okay, here you are, let's take you to the next level, let's get you to the next place within your journey. And you guys, oh my gosh, I had an incredible experience yesterday. I facilitated. So a new offering I have, I'll just share it really quick, is I'm doing VIP days with clients like this. She's in a container with me for 6 months, but where I take and do medicine journeys with my clients, and I have help. I have a shaman and different, I bring in a team because I am a medicine woman in my own right, but I more am there to hold space, and I do the coaching, the facilitating, the mentoring, all that kind of stuff. And so for yesterday, I was in it deep with the Aries new moon and this ability to look at, where we need healing. And what's really fun about healing is you don't have to look far for what you need to work on, right? Life is always reflecting back to you that. So we don't need to go searching, like, what do I need to heal? What's wrong with me? It's more like, what's in my awareness? Where am I facing resistance? What is begging and asking of me to pay attention, And yesterday was one of my first journeys. If you know me intimately, I've been journeying since 2017. Ayahuasca, mushrooms, just different things. And every time I meet a new aspect and layer of myself, I don't ask anything of my clients that I'm not willing to do myself. And part of my work is experiential. I want to take clients out of, the 3D and the Zooms and all that kind of stuff, and hands-on, get to touch them, be with them. We spent the night in this beautiful space out in the wilderness, and then we got to have breakfast together this morning. It was really an incredible journey. And going into the depths myself, and it was one of the first times I've had a journey where my journey was really like, it was all about love. And I always talk about this, like opening our hearts even more to expand into love. And I got to experience that yesterday. Like, I really got to experience, like, what does it look like for me to trust love? Because I was healing my inner child. And I wanted to share this with you because maybe this is part of your healing too, is my inner child didn't always trust love. And I've been on this big journey healing my inner child. And yesterday I got to see this opportunity. My inner child, she trusts love, but not to the levels of where this adult version of me is ready to go. I'm in a beautiful divine union partnership with my boyfriend, and I've done a lot of healing work just to even attract him into my life. And my inner child got this beautiful message of, like, it's time to lean in deeper. You've come to this certain point, and it's lean in deeper. Come into this experience even more of your life and opening your heart without restriction. And so healing can be so beautiful when we allow it to be, beyond what, we think it's like this arduous, like, oh, I gotta like figure myself out and I gotta do, yes, it's that. And it's also, when we meet our edges and we decide that it's like time to like grow and evolve. So just want to share that because your Chiron wound is going to be really open and apparent for you right now. Like, you'll see it and you'll know energetically like what it is that you need to work on. And we're all theoretically healing our inner child and expanding into more love. Okay, so I want to look at what the energy for April is. April's got, there's a lot. There's 2 new moons in April. There's a full moon. There's a lot happening. So let me see what the card is for April. And we'll just jump on in. Spiritual union. How incredible. So, deepening into your relationships, deepening into love. Everything. We're in relationship to everything in our lives. And we're not just in relationship to our significant others, but we're in relationship, to our business partners, to our children, to the earth. Everything is a relationship. And the first thing I feel when I tap into this energy is the breath. Like, even the relationship of the in breath, the out breath. And this is an energy of, what do you hold sacred with your relationships? If you are healing a lot, this is about stepping into the sacredness of even like your breath and how you're responding to life through your relationships, and understanding that there's a time right now where you're really attracting in the relationships that are going to help you grow and be in resonance energetically. And then there's some of your relationships might be falling away a little bit because there's no longer a vibrational match. And it doesn't mean that you can't be friends with that person or hang out with that person or anything like that. It's just, realizing the specificity. There's a specific thing that happens when you are around people that can teach you things, that can show you things, that inspire you, And so I really want you to think about like your relationship, and every relationship starts with a relationship to self. But this feels like a very expansive month of deepening into love, of really having more emotional mastery within your relationships, really choosing, like, what are you choosing into when it comes to your partnerships and your friendships? Are they of the heart, or versus, the ego? And how could you, like, one of the things I love to work on with people is attracting in more like minded souls. Like, I meet so many women that are like, I want to, have some friends that are reflective of who I am at this point. And one of the interesting things about relationships, I don't know if you guys have found this, but I certainly have, is that if you've known somebody for like, 20 years, or like a parent or something, oftentimes they see you for who you used to be, because they're still relating to you from the past. And so one of the things I want you to think about as a futurist is like, you know, if you are moving towards something new in your life, if you're in the becoming, and I encourage all of us to be in the becoming, surround yourself with the people that can either bring you there, or at least can be connected to that don't anchor you and tether you to the past. And I could hear some people being like, well, that's kind of selfish, and that's kind of, no, it's not. It's really like, have space for what you want to bring into your life. And you should be surrounding yourself with incredible people. And yes, we have, some people that we have to be around no matter what. But I feel like this is really about aligning with your tribe. Well, the people, the groups, the energy, the community that feels good to you, so that you can serve at your highest, and that you can really start to feel such a heart-centered feeling with the people that you're with. Like, really choosing into, like, one of the things I think about a lot is like, I choose to spend time with people. I just don't hang out with people because I'm bored or I don't have anything else better to do. Like, I literally choose. And so there's going to be a lot of new beginnings with relationships, a lot of like shifting and like, expansion and all of it, when you're choosing into who and what you want to be aligned with. So that's going to be the theme for April. And like I said, today's the new moon, Aries, new beginnings, supercharged action. If you haven't written your new moon intentions out, write your new moon intentions. This is high in the sky, you guys. When it comes to Aries energy, it's the warrior. It's like the ram. It's like, oh, I want to go big. So don't just write like little, kind of lukewarm intentions for this one. Like, go big, and see when we get to the full moon in Aries 6 months from now, what has come to fruition. And this is a lot of Aries has to do with self. So really think about, who do you want to become? Like, what does that entail? And yeah, go big with that. Okay. So so April 4th is a day, it's a master day, it's a 4-4 day. Really connecting to our power, really connecting to the earth grid, because there's 4 seasons, all the things, the 4 elements of the earth. There's like this huge earth element. So I really feel this connection between source and the earth, and like how it meets within the portal of our heart. So it's going to be a really beautiful day for connection with your soul. So make sure you just do some nice little meditation or something. Okay, so for the 4th, let's see what we got going on. Power. So, it doesn't surprise me. It's a strength card in the traditional tarot. It doesn't surprise me. We're in Aries, and so we get this opportunity to step into our power. We get this opportunity to face the things that block us from our power. So to me, this week is about moving out of like you'll have illumination of some of your blind spots. It's probably still that Chiron energy. It feels like there's a moving forward towards your dreams. This is a week of maybe taking some leaps of faith, moving forward on some of the things that you have desired to take action on. I'm feeling a really big pulsation in my solar plexus, which just means there's a lot of energy of like action, doing, making things happen. This card also has to do with like facing your resistance, and any resistance that comes up, using it as material for what it is that you need to work on. So this feels very much like a week of um, strengthening your ability. I don't know why I just saw the throat, to activate your voice and speak up and do the things that you need to do. I often see the throat in these like channelings for some reason. It's very much always like a big part of it. But I feel like if you're going to take action on something, you are going to have to use your throat chakra. You're either going to be speaking it into form, you're going to be expressing it, you're going to be signing a document, writing a contract, whatever it is. There is some movement, right, when it comes to the throat. So if you're architecting your life and you're setting your intentions and this really is a month too. I don't know about you guys, but I always think of this as like the new year. I don't think of like the new year. I'm always kind of like in a foggy Christmas, kind of just getting out of things. Like this to me is like when it's Aries time, it's like it's go time. It's spring. Things are moving. Things are shifting. And so, it's architecting your life, and you can't architect a life that you aren't clear about. You have to have, you want to have clarity. And this is also a time to strengthen your inner certitude. If you are someone that is continuing to look to the outside world for validation and needing things to be a certain way so that you can move forward, I highly encourage you to really look at that and be like, okay, what is it? What is my inner child needing that it didn't get in the past, that I could maybe give it to it now so that I can show up fully? Because the reason why we don't have certainty within is because we've depended on the outside world to validate how we feel. And what would it look like to start to trust yourself on a deeper level? What would it look like to find your strength within, so that no matter what divine fluctuations are happening within the collective, which they're going to continue to happen, that you can find your inner strength and you can continue to move forward. Because the truth of the matter is, right, and I've seen this time in out again, I always see this, like especially in my journeys, is like when I'm meditating and stuff, we all have the descent. We all have these things that can take us down. And they are going to take us down because that's part of life. Like, and I don't mean take you down like you're never going to get back up. But tough things happen sometimes. We get challenged. And the key, right, is to know how to move through it. To know what to rely on within yourself, to be fully resourced within yourself, so that when you go through the descent, you know how to rise back up, and you know how to come back into your strength and faith and hope of what the future has for you, right? So this is a week to just notice the content of your life. What's showing up? What are you supposed to move forward on? What's the new beginnings? How would you access, like, what does power feel like for you? You're going to be in your power. What does that mean to you? What are you architecting? And what does it feel like in your solar plexus? I know when I'm in my power, it means that I'm deeply connected to myself and source. There's nothing else. It has nothing to do with the outside world. It's me inside of myself feeling connected. So I want you to define, what is it for you? I'm sure it's something very similar. But that's going to give you the strength, the power, the certitude to move forward, right? So that's what we're working on that week. The 11th, let's see what we got going on. And that week, I'm just trying to see if there's anything. We have the 16th and 17th. Oh, we have eclipse season beginning. Oh, yeah. Oh, eclipses. Such big energy. Thank God these eclipses. I think the eclipses, I could be wrong, but I remember, feels like the eclipses have to do with the nodes. Is that true? My astrology friends, I'm not sure about that. So we'll see. But anyways, the 11th. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Oh, how fun. Rejoice in celebration. I love this card. So fun. This feels really nice, right? Oh my gosh. Rejoice in celebration. Have some gosh dang fun already. If your energy is, if the overall card for the month is spiritual union, then you should be out with your friends and family having some fun, and enjoying life. And the deeper question that I hear with this one is like, what do you enjoy in life? Like, what brings you joy? And I feel like joy, for me, laughter is the best medicine. Having fun. I have noticed for me in my business, when I am in a higher frequency, that's when I attract in things. Like, I magnetize to me my next client and the next experience and all these things. And I just am allowing, this is a week of allowing. How could you allow things, grace and movement into your life? I really feel like the divine feminine in this energy of like, what does it look like to be like water, to shift and to allow yourself to not be so controlled and so hemmed into like the way things have to be or should be. This is a week of like letting go and maybe letting people see the real you a little bit more, because in spiritual union, we're not going to be wearing any mask. I mean, if you're still wearing a mask in your relationships, I really want you to ask yourself why, number one, because that takes too much work. Be your authentic self. Where are you still lying to yourself, and like because if you're wearing a mask, like, you're lying to yourself in some way and telling yourself you can't have what you really want. You have to show up as a chameleon. Now, we can match people's energy and work with energy and all that kind of stuff, but don't lose yourself, but this week is about, there feels like a collaborative energy. It feels like a return to some joy. It feels like the laughter is medicine energy, and it feels like a heart opener, and we all need that, like a little breath of fresh air. And this card feels a little bit like emotional mastery, and I'll tell you why. Because can you still enjoy your life and have fun even when things aren't perfect? Some people are like, and it's not just like having fun, like blowing off steam and like, trying to distract yourself out of your reality. I'm talking about the fun that is like the belly laugh of life, like where you're like, you're free. You're free to let go and to be in the wildness of your heart and just enjoy life, and like let your physical body move this week. Find ways. Like, I did somatic dance yesterday. It was so incredible. I did a voice activation yesterday where we were in our journey. They were like, there was a drum and we all had to go around. We had to sing, and it was like so terrifying to me, but it was so fun. I was like, oh my God, where's this been all my life? Like this silly, fun energy that's like showing me new parts of myself. I'm meeting my edge. So some of the fun that I want, that like I'm not me personally, but like the divine wants you to have, is like the fun that's on your edge, the fun that makes you grow, not this just going out and drinking and get shit faced or something like that. Not that kind of fun. That's fun, but not, that's old fun, right? Like fun that expands, where you're like, whoo, I didn't know I could sing like that, or I didn't know I could move my body like that. Wow, like that's fun. Explore yourself, because if you're gonna be in spiritual union to other people, how can you meet your edges? Like, if you're having fun, to me, is pleasure. It's activating the pleasure within your body that is just asking to be free. Like, so many of us are living so caged up, like, like you don't even know how to have fun anymore. Like, you're so used to like being at your desk all day, and then you get home and you're like, oh my God, I gotta make dinner, I gotta do this thing, and it's like, no, hit the pause button, find ways to have fun, because what's the point of life if you're not enjoying it? So this is the week, like a call to action, to find your pleasure, to find the place in you, that wild woman in you, or that wild man, like, like that energy. Like, maybe the wild man's a guy out in the mountains and, going bike riding and doing all these kind of things. Maybe for a woman, it's like dancing, but whatever it is, it's not about gender. It's just about that part of us that wants to be in nature and wants to have fun and like get our hands in the dirt, our feet in the dirt, whatever, like that kind of energy. I love it. Okay, and so then April 18th. So especially, I guess April 18th is supposed to be a flash insight day, like a really beautiful energy for like insights. There must be some really cool astrology that day. So the 18th, we got, oh, I just love this card. Oh, God, this was Foundation and Achievements. I'm feeling really dreamy about April. Just like, thank you, God. It's a 4 card. So it goes back to what I was saying, a 4-month. April's a 4-month. It's like a really grounding, new beginnings because of the Aries energy. We have a Libra full moon in here, which I don't know what day the full moon is. I apologize, but I should know that. I'll look that up in a second. Oh, the moon is full at Easter. It's right. It's on the 17th, depending on where you live in the world. And I, on the full moon, am going to be leaving for Peru. So I'm so freaking excited. I got to share my excitement in my life with you guys. So this card, the week of the 18th, it's actually my boyfriend's birthday on the 18th. Why we're going to Peru. Foundations and Achievements. So this card is, oh, I just love this card. So this card has to do with an inhale of peace and some prosperity into your life. Breathing in, like, where can you find some peace and prosperity within your life? Peace starts within, but this card is about the foundation of your life. It's about, so for some of you, it's like the home. It's like a new home. It's movement. So it might be a new home within yourself, because Aries is like that. It's our identity. You know, it's how we see ourselves. You might be shifting the way you look, your body, your physical form. It may be your home. You might be thinking about moving. You might have a call to the wild. Like I have a call to the wild. Like my soul is like, it's time to move and get out in the mountains and do this. It's not going to happen right now, but like the call has been initiated. Just like I get called to land, you know, to like Peru. But this card is like, you get to, like, what are the things that you get to do, the achievements, the things that are happening in your life where you can have gratitude and you can create. What does prosperity look like to you guys? You know, like really defining that this week, and in relation to other people. You know, the spiritual union, you are prosperous in love with people. You know, of course we want material, you know, riches. There's nothing wrong with that. But the most prosperity you could ever have is in relationship to another person, right? Your children, your significant other, your best friends, your soulmates, all that kind of stuff. And this week, it feels like you're seeing the multidimensionality of your relationships and what you're cultivating, what you're creating in your life. And I really want you to imagine, like they're showing me like Play-Doh, and when you're like working with Play-Doh and how you can mold it and sculpt it. Like this is a week that you get to mold and sculpt your life. And think about like, oh my gosh, what is it that, you know, what is the home that I want within myself and in my life? What does that look like? Who are the people that make me feel at home in my life? And what do we get to create? And I want you to find what's sacred. You know, and I'm really feeling like a sacred calling. Like this may be like you stepping into the sacred calling of your life. Like there may be like some insight of like, oh my God, like my home. Because to me, home is when we heal. Healing is always coming home to self and the richness of your being, right? And when you start to like feel the richness of your being, it's like life opens up for you. And you see like it's like tangible. It's like, and then you see past the illusion and you start to understand what a co-creator you are in this reality. And you start to see the things that are allies to your co-creation. You know, the places, the people, the medicine, the things, all that help you co-create this incredible reality. And so this week feels like you're grounding something in. You're grounding in the relationship. You're grounding in the sacredness. You have reverence for the people and the things that bring you peace. And it's like when you have that frequency, when you're operating from that frequency, you naturally will bring in prosperity, because it's like you're just remembering your inherent prosperity that you have with it, your abundance. And this week feels very like there's a spiritual element to it. It's all around it, like I can see the aura of this week. It's like there's so much intuitive insights and feelings of like awakening and opening and psychic opening, and I actually did it from my belly. You think of your psychic stuff up here, but it's your body being the portal. That's the home, right? That's the first home. And then your second home is like where you decide to live. And some of you may make decisions like, I don't want to live where I'm living anymore. I don't like the foundation of my life. I want to change it. I need to tweak it and shift it. And a lot of it might be from a vibrational frequency standpoint. Like first it's frequency and then it's the material. So this week feels very sacred, beautiful. Like there's just ahas, epiphanies. And it feels like for some of you, you might be creating a home with somebody. There might be engagements. There might be deepening of commitments. There might be like, let's create a home together with somebody else. Really coming together with your people. I love that. Okay. And then we have the 25th week. So we're in the 26th is the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde. April 29th and 30th, we start the retrograde. 12 weeks of a retrograde. I'm sorry. It's a retrograde free world. We get 12 weeks of a retrograde free world. We've had 12 weeks of a retrograde free world. And then, so we've had 12 weeks as of April 29th, 30th, and then Pluto moves into retrograde. And then we have another new moon on the 30th. Good times. Okay, so let me tell you this last week, the 25th. I'm so excited to see who I'm going to become after I go to Peru. I believe land changes everybody. If you like open up to, the land, like just like how people have codes. Like you meet somebody and they have a code of energy. It's like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's like they everybody possesses their code of expression and their gifts. And like when you're around them, if you have, they activate that for you. The land is the same way. You go to the land somewhere, and each place. Like when I was in Bali, she awakened my like feminine, like Kali, like all these different things, the shadowy energy of my feminine. And I've been on this journey of awakening my wild woman. And now Peru is like calling me for this other energy, and I'm not really sure. It's been calling me since I was in Bali, actually, but I'm not really sure what medicine is for me yet. But can't wait. I'll share with you guys. Woo! So firm foundation. Oh my God, you guys. This month feels so fucking dreamy, excuse my language, compared to some of the months that I've done. There's been months where the cards were all like, really, oh. I'm not saying that there won't be some like stuff, but it feels like we're being given like a really like beautiful month to like flow and like create and like start this new year and have some new beginnings and really deepen into love and connection. And then we get firm foundation. So this is your grounding, and it's another 4 card. We've gotten some 4 cards here. So the last 2 weeks of the month are 4s. This is a 4 month. So that 4 is very grounding. It's earth energy, and you can see this guy. He's like his spine is straight. And so your spine being straight. What does that mean? I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's like you can only be a channel of life force when you're straight, when your spine is straight, when you're breathing in life force vitality. So like this feels like we're strengthening. Like you had that week where you were in your strength and you're building it up. You're having some fun. You're really like getting that peace and prosperity flowing and spiritually and awakening to your divine gifts and psychic insight and all that kind of stuff. And this week you're like grounding in movement. What do I want to create? taking the psychic insight that you got from the week of the 18th and like some of the fun, because I mean, when I have fun, like I'm always getting psychic insights. It's like, that's how I enjoy my life. I can learn through experience, right? A lot of experience. And then you ground it in this week. You're grounding something in. So what is it that you want to ground in? What is it that you want to have? What do you want to create? And who are you creating it with? That's the key. We don't create by ourselves. I mean, you can, but this month is like, who do you get to create with? Who are your allies and alliances that are going to bring your dreams to fruition? It's like they're showing me like these leaps, like these quantum leaps you can have when you bring in the right collaboration and people. You don't have to do this alone. So who are the people that'll help you architect and build fast? And it's not about like fast, but it's like, you know, I'll just share this experience because it happened just this morning. I went to breakfast with my client that we did the journey. Her name's Ashley. She's incredible. And she's like a human, her name's Ashley Nicole. You should follow her. She's a human design and gene keys like specialist, expert, like, oh my God. So if you're into that world, she is your girl. Like, she is incredible. But anyways, we were at breakfast this morning and we were like talking, and she's very gifted. I swear I just saw energy move in back of me. That was so strange. I know I'm being weird, but that was very weird. I saw energy move behind me. Okay, whatever. Good times over here. But anyways, we were hanging out and we were at breakfast, and we were talking about stuff, and we were sharing our gifts. You know, I'm her coach, mentor, but she's just as gifted as me, and she just has different gifts and different codes. And we were talking, and all of a sudden she was giving me some of her gifts. You know, it was like this beautiful exchange. And when she was giving me some of her, you know, some feedback and some gift, you know, just sharing her knowledge, it allowed me to deepen into who I am and my purpose and my why of why I do the work that I do. And it was incredible. And I thought to myself, I'm like, this is why I do the things I do. But this is a collaboration that I want you to have with the people in your life. Like, you know, how are they helping you? Because like that breakfast like was a quantum leap for me. There was questions answered in that breakfast that I've had in my field for quite some time, in my mind, if you want to say it like that. That like just dropped in. So just trusting that the foundation of your life that you're building, the people that you're with and all that, they hold codes for you. Like, so don't build alone. Build with the people, you know, and create opportunities to come back to your inner certitude. Trusting yourself, trusting people. Like, that's a big thing I'm feeling. Like, that was one of the things I actually worked on in my journey yesterday, is like trust. You know, when you trust yourself, you can feel and you can discern, like, who is the right person in your life to build with? Who are the right people that can help you with this project, that can help you, you know, even manage your money or do your taxes or whatever it may be? Who are the people that help you build your life in a way that elevates you? And that's what this week is about, like really looking at your life and the way it's being built and structured, and who can empower that or who brings you down. And the gift is in your discernment. And this month feels delicious and amazing, and it feels like there's a lot of love there. I'm sure, just like any month, there's challenges and there's things that are, you know, going to take place just like all the time. But you're being given a gift. You're being given a gift of new beginnings. Starting over. Begin again. Begin again. It's always the message I get. You know, we fall and we rise. And if you're feeling discouraged by anything where you've fallen, know you will rise. Get back up. Start again. Don't let your past failures or the things that didn't work out determine where you're going. Futuring, right? That's what I'm certified in. Futuring is really your ability to see beyond the veil, to not, you know, you can use your past experiences as material, but don't let it determine your reality. There's so many things that I've done in my life that I'd be like, oh, that didn't really work out. But then I try it at a different point, at a different level of consciousness, and it comes together. I build that foundation. It works out. It's ready. It's ready to go. So what is that thing that that's been percolating energetically that you're like, I'm ready for that to go? Especially the last week of the month. That's the week that it's going to be like, it's go time. Like you get to bring that into form. It's exciting. It's really exciting. I didn't get to see who was on because I can never really see the comments on these. So I apologize if you, oh, here's the comments. Hi, Rochelle, Cynthia. Let's see who's on. Artemisa. Oh, sorry if my sound was muffled. Ugh! Bummer. That is a bummer. It's this stupid fan. I apologize. I hope that you guys were able to hear some of it. Most of it, I don't know. But, let's see. Yeah, who knows? I know it was on and off. But I'll have to figure out why my computer decides to go into that while I'm doing these things. But anyway, sending you guys so much love. Hope you have a fantastic April. And if you're interested in a VIP day for yourself, message me. I have a way that I'm doing it where there's like before the experience, we do a session, we have the experience, and then we have a session afterwards for integration. It's very beautiful. I was only doing these with my like coaching clients that are in deeper containers, but there's a really big need for it. And I'm all about the experiences. And if you guys are interested, April 9th, it's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'm hosting with Whitney Yarnell at Sojourn Collective an amazing, amazing event called the Reclamation. So if you've been feeling stuck and you're ready for like a little shot in the arm of some like high vibe energy and to shift things, come to our event. We're going to be doing some breathwork, some somatic dance and movement, which I'm in love with. I love doing that. And I'm going to be teaching about the core wound, and Whitney's going to be bringing her beautiful medicine. So it's going to be incredible. Whitney and I together are powerhouses. Like we led a retreat together in Maui, and we have another one in Maui this November, but there's something about the synergy between us that is incredible. We have such different ways of teaching, and when it comes together, it's fucking potent. So it's only $60, this 3-hour workshop. So come check it out. I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's it for now. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.